Hey guys, Chris here. In this video, we are doing the Norwegian high-speed run in the Hongqi E-HS9. So if you're new here, the Norwegian high-speed run is a test over a route that is 610 kilometers, where the point of the test is to see how an electric car behaves on a longer trip, where we're gonna have to stop and charge twice, maybe even 3 times. So how far will we go on a charge? What issues will we experience while we're down low in the battery percentage? Also, will we have issues with chargers not working? Will there be a queue at chargers? And how much charge speed will we get now that it is quite cold outside and this car does not have active preheating? So all those things will be explored in today's video. And then at the very end of the video, we're going to put this car into a chart and rank how much time we had to spend charging to complete this test. And to make all of this as smooth, as easy, and as hassle-free as possible, we are using an app called Elton, who are also the sponsor of today's video. Elton is an awesome app that will let you charge at almost all charge point operators in Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark. So one app, you register your paying card once, and then you're good to go. You can charge at almost all of the charge point operators in all of these countries with using one app. So you can find all the chargers in this app, navigate to the chargers with help of the app, and then once you get to the app, you can start charging with that app. It's pretty mind-boggling, and that's what we're going to use in today's video. And you're going to see today how easy and as smooth as possible charging and traveling with an EV on a long trip can be. So again, a huge thanks to Elton for sponsoring today's video. We're soon at 100% here. Once we're there, we're going to disconnect, and I'll see you guys on the road. We are now Oscar Mike, and we've been on the road for an hour and covered 110 kilometers almost now. And before I show you guys the consumption, I just want to talk about a few things about this car. So first off, really quiet and comfortable on the motorway. And even though we are on 21-inch wheels, this is a big and boxy SUV, it is fairly quiet. Yes, you're going to have some buffeting off the windscreen and some whistling off the wing mirrors, but considering the size of this car and also its price point, this is really impressive. Also, the navigation system, though it looks nice, it's easy to interact with, not very good. It couldn't even find the town of Kristiansand or the train station, which is our turnaround point. I had to navigate to the gym in Kristiansand, like Elixia, something like that. And also, it shows you the time we're gonna arrive, the time it takes to get there, the distance, but it doesn't show you the battery percentage we are gonna arrive with. And according to the car, it is 196 kilometers to our destination, but we only have 142 kilometers of range left. So that is minus 50 kilometers if we, try to get to our destination. So the car should tell us, you don't have enough juice to get to your destination. I don't know why EVs do this. I just, tested the Kia Niro a few weeks ago, and that also doesn't show you how much battery you're gonna arrive with. There's no route planner to tell you to stop here or to stop there. Yeah, that is really, really bad. And also guys, the consumption, 34.0 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Yes, super, super high. Probably the highest I've had in any car on this test, but it's also the biggest car I've ever tested. I don't know, it doesn't help that we have a headwind of about 2 meters per second. So hopefully once we turn around and get going back, it's going to be a little bit lower. But yeah, that's a high consumption. But in not long, we're going to hit two-lane highways. So we're going to have a little bit of a lower average speed. And also guys, you can see we are running in comfort mode and not in eco mode. And the reason for that is if we run in eco mode, the car only gives me 50% as a max on the volume of the stereo. And I like listening to music louder than that. And also, you can see I have the heated steering wheel on, and it doesn't turn on when you have eco mode on, which is really, really weird. And also another thing about Chinese cars I've noticed is that you have to run the cabin or the climate hotter than in other cars. So 22, 23 degrees, it feels like 20 degrees. I'm even sitting in here with my jacket. So yeah, a few strange things, but overall, I don't know, we're gonna have to stop somewhere before our destination. We don't do that often, but today in this car, I think we're gonna have to stop maybe as far as 50 kilometers away from our destination if this range doesn't start climbing once we hit 2-lane highways with a little bit lower average speed. Off camera, I've changed the navigation to the EON chargers in Lillesand and also using Google Maps. And according to, well, Google Maps, it is 62 kilometers till those chargers in Lillesand. But according to the car, we have 14% stated charge left and 42 kilometers of range left. And I've been monitoring, well, the stated charge for the past 100 kilometers, and it's not going to get any closer. And we've just been on 2-lane motorways or highways, and we still haven't managed to close that gap. So the rest of the way is mostly 4-lane motorways, so we're gonna stop here. I wanted to try to go a little bit further because since this video, well, isn't sponsored by Recharge, Elton is the sponsor, I wanted to try to go to a different charger. But well, here we are, as we have been so many times before. We're gonna go to the Recharge chargers over here at the Shell station in Tvedestrand. But what is not very common is that we have to stop on our way down. I don't think we've ever done that before. Have we ever done that? Maybe like once in winter when I was like driving a Jaguar I-Pace, maybe? Okay, so they have quite a few of them here on the right side. And I forget that these have the old Fortum livery. These aren't blue like the new ones. But yeah, I think it will do too. I think we can take one of these, 150 kilowatts. This car doesn't, do more than 140. So it's going to be interesting to see, will we get, will we get 140 kilowatts? How close or far away will we get from that? Okay, let's stop there. And then let's take a look at the average consumption. Thus far, 31.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And we managed to do 226.5 kilometers with 39 kilometers of range left. So we would have been able to go, well, 40 kilometers more. So 265, maybe 270 on a good day. But once we get down to 9% with this car, also that range goes from like the indicated, whatever it is, like 25 or 30 kilometers down to 0. And yeah, that is not confidence inspiring when it does that. So here we are in the app, and let's go to the map here, and then it will choose our location. Once we push that arrow there, then we press this, and then it will show us that these amber are 150 kilowatts and these that are blue are slower. So 11 out of 12 are vacant. So this number is 4529E. Let's see if we can find 4529E. That's the one. Start charging very easily. Do that. And then we have to go over to the car like this. Oh, I should have opened the port first. So let's do that. Press this to open the port. Like that. It's powered. And then you take off this cover and then this cover. And then I can connect. Let's see if we can do that with, not one-handed. Let's see, like that. It's now connected. So what this app does, other than you can just choose to charge with most charging operators in Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark, but also sometimes there's an error with charging, and this app will compensate for that. So what we'll do, if it has an error trying to connect, it will try to connect once again. So very quickly, again here, I've already used this app like 3 or 4 times like in the past 2 days, and it's so easy to use. It's so reliable and quick. So these Campar chargers, usually they build up speed in step by step. So I'm hoping we're at least gonna get like 120 kilowatts. But again, I did the motorway range test here a few days ago, and I wasn't able to get a lot faster than 100 plus kilowatts. But let's see, we're going now 100. Oh, this is nice. Yes, this is good, 120. So peak charging speed, 140 kilowatts on the Hongqi E-HS9, but we're getting 121 at 14%. Yeah, that is not too shabby considering this car and that it is cold and winter outside, and there's no active preheating with this car. We've been charging for 33 minutes and we're currently at 73% stated charge. Maybe a little bit higher than I would usually charge to, but look at the charging speed, guys. We are still charging at almost 100 kilowatts at 73%. And this car shouldn't start tapering off before at 80%. So I'm at a little bit of a crossroad, because to go to Kristiansand and then back again, yeah, going to like 60% or 70% should be more than enough. But if I go back here, that means we're gonna have to either charge really deep, like to 85-90%, or do another charging stop. But if we go to 90% now and we keep this speed, we may be able to go to Kristiansand and then all the way back to Bamble. And then at that charging stop, we don't have to charge as much. So I think I'm going to monitor now. If, you know, this charging speed really starts to dip off, I could disconnect. But usually also I was like thinking, should I disconnect? But we were only getting like a peak speed of 125, 120 kilowatts, which is technically like 20% more than getting like 100 kilowatts. But also having to, you know, exit the road and then finding the charger, connect, all that overhead will also be lost time. So I don't know, like we're only timing the actual time connected to a charger now, but also we have to try to be a little bit practical. If we could do 2 charging stops instead of 3, in my opinion, that is a little bit better. But we're already at 76%, 92 kilowatts or 89 kilowatts now. Okay, here we are. We are now in the town of Kristiansand. So we just exited the 4-lane motorway, and then we're gonna take a left in this roundabout, and then we're gonna drive towards the train station. But once we get to the intersection right up here, we're gonna just do a U-turn. And looking at the right side here, yeah, a lot of new construction. This is looking really nice. So the train station is right behind here. Usually before we drove to right into the train station and we looked at the timer and stuff like that. But since this is the Norwegian high-speed run version 2.0, we're not, you know, concerned about the total time. We're only timing the actual charging session, the time we're connected to a charger. But okay, guys, this is our consumption thus far on the trip. 31.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So it's gone down a little bit, but as you guys can see, it's started to rain. We've now covered 313.1 kilometers according to the car. And then without the charging, we have now, well, been on the road for 3 hours and 17 minutes. So usually when we get down to the south of Norway, from eastern Norway, it's raining like now. So yeah, and now we've been waiting for a long time for this green light. But okay, guys, I'm gonna continue on now. I'm gonna get back on the motorway, and then hopefully we will be able to, well, with 167 kilometers, hopefully we will be able to get to Circle K in Bamble. If not, we'll have to stop at recharge in Shell. We'll have to stop at Shell in Tvedestrand again. Exit 53 brings us to the Circle K station here in Bamble, and we're gonna stop here and charge. So second charging stop, we managed to get here with 9% battery and also 32 kilometers of range. But when I did the motorway range test with this car, once you go down to 9%, or maybe 8%, but like once you hit 9, the range goes down to like two bars, like 0, 0. So that's really interesting. That hasn't happened yet. Oh my God, sorry guys, I've been sick for the past few days, so I'm like not 100% well yet. So like my head isn't like working 100%. But we're gonna go to the Circle K chargers over here now. I haven't been here in such a long time. Oh my God. So we can take a maximum 150 kilowatts. And these are 50 kilowatts. Wow, they have 50 kilowatt chargers there? What? They have a lot of 50 kilowatt chargers. This is interesting. Yeah, this 50 here was working. So, okay, no, I'm going to reverse. Oh, the backup camera is really dirty. So we're gonna try to go to this one. Yeah, I think we can do this one. Even though this car's really long, I think we're going to be able to connect it. We just have to get really close to this EQC. Okay, I think that's good. So let's take a look at the average consumption. It's dropped now to 30.1, guys. So that means we really had a quite strong headwind on our way down to Kristiansand. And also we are now down to 9% and 32 kilometers of range. So again, guys, we're using the Elton-app, and once we open it, the app knows where we are, and we're going to go to use the Circle K chargers here. This one is called 29 31. So let's see if why weren't they like in chronological order? So let's start the charging, and then let's get the plug here. Payment accepted. And then let's open the port like this and remove these. I don't know if it's too dark for you guys, but okay. Let's connect here. We can do it with one hand. If you get a real grip of this cable, there we go, connected. And then let's walk over, climb over the charger here. Oh no, without like pulling the cable. But okay, let's see. And again, guys, we should get less errors with this app, because maybe me like tugging on the cable would like, mess with the communication. That may have happened, but the app's still gonna try to start the charging session without having to disconnect. So this is like a real test of this app, like not only using it, but also, there we go, right away. My God, it's so easy. Like I'm 5 of 5 or 6 for 6 now. So yeah, let's see, we're connecting at 9%, and let's see if we get any decent charging speed. Hopefully we'll get, getting less now. Only 102 kilowatts. That is interesting. 103. So not like full out 125 like we were getting earlier. We did connect to the charger now with a lower stated charge than before, but that only means we should have gotten higher speeds now. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, we're at 70%. I think we're gonna stop the charging now and disconnect and do the last leg of the trip. But one thing, guys, why did this guy in a Tesla pull up to this Circle K charger when there are like 72 superchargers over there? Can somebody give me an answer why somebody would do that? We are now back here at our starting point, or our end point, whatever you want to call it. We're back here where we started this video earlier today at Esso in Billingstadsletta. And before we jump into the results, I just again want to say a huge thanks to Elton for sponsoring today's video. The Elton app is awesome, and it made this trip as hassle-free and as easy as possible with not one single issue. So if you want to support the channel, go to the link down below and download the app. Or if you just want the best charging app, if you live in Norway, Sweden, Finland, or Denmark, download it from the description box down below. So okay, with that out of the way, let's jump into the results. So we arrived here with 10% battery, plenty enough energy. And the reason we did that, well, I overcalculated. We had, a stronger tailwind on our way down, and the consumption today actually pretty low, 30.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. You compare that to my motorway range test just a few days ago, that is quite a bit lower. And I was calculating, while calculating how much I should charge with a little bit higher consumption. So we're right here with 10%. That is plenty enough. We went to 70% at our last charging stop and to 90% at our first charging stop. We could have charged a little bit less than 90% and also a little bit less than 70%, but still though, there was no hassle, no issues today, and no stress at all. So yeah, I would recommend just charging a little bit extra when going on a trip like this. So you're here at the end of the video because you want to know how much time the Hongqi E-HS9 spent charging to travel the 610 kilometers today. So without further ado, this car spent 1 hour and 20 minutes. So 80 minutes in total, puts it pretty down low, not the lowest, but pretty down low on the chart. A little bit better than the Kia Niro EV we tested, a few weeks ago, but that's not a high bar. So this car, there are a few things working against it. First off, it is a huge car, and that means huge and high consumption. And it has a big battery, but not very fast charging. So those two things combined means it can't go super far on a charge, and once you start charging, you have to charge it for a long time to go to a decent percentage. Even though our second charging stop only took about 32 minutes, our first charging stop took 48 minutes to go from 14% to 90%. So yeah, a very long time. But this car is a really nice car to travel with on a long trip. So I hope in a future version, like a facelift. Maybe they can do some tweaks to make it more aerodynamic and also give it a much bigger battery. I mean, this car, you know, needs at least 120, maybe 130. They could easily fit a 140 kilowatt hour battery pack here with much faster charging, and that would make this a real long trip, road trip, you know, killer. This would be awesome on a long trip with faster charging and a bigger battery, you know, with more range. So guys, let me know what you think down below. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.